Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this one doesn't have the siding? Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh.
How you doing?
Good, how about yourself? You own one of these?
This one.
Holy shit. Remember a couple of years ago, there's a guy who owns, it's one of the older SRTs. It looks like this. It's blue with white stripes, and they let me sit in it. They're so ridiculously nice.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I dream about these kind of cars.
Work hard and save your money. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, it's a manual. And this is what year?
Say again?
What year is this model?
Oh, one.
God, these are so fast. Now, is this just a solid hard top, or is this a convertible?
Convertible. This one's off.
Oh.
There's a soft top too on it, but I left that home.
You see that they originally, or they sold one of the original Viper prototypes recently?
The new one?
No, they sold one of the absolute original ones when they launched in like 95 or 96.
No, that's in Detroit at the museum.
Well, they have,
I
think there was a couple prototypes when they were like in the final stages of development. One of the guys crashed it. Total thing.
They might have, yeah.
Idiot.
But I mean, the original ones are in the museum in Detroit.
Yeah.
They're priced for the museum.
They've turned out some great cars. These are just, oh god.
Well, the new ones will be coming out in...
The new ones are ridiculously, they're so fast. Fiat's finally done something good with, because for the past couple years they've been like this, and these are awesome, but the new ones are just over the top.
They had a mock-up last 2 years ago out in Salt Lake City at one of our big Viper deals, and we could see it. You know, everything was secret shit, no cameras, no phones. It looked nice, similar to these, but well, you got these, now they're out. We'll be going to Charlotte for a big Viper thing in September, and just go to the racetrack all in Charlotte. They'll have some new ones there to have a driving.
Where is it? What's there's a motor resort with the Virginia International Raceway in the back. What is that one? It's a motor raceway. It's like a
VIG or something.
I think it's something along those lines. I've seen videos of...
Well, there's a Viper Racing League, too.
I'd imagine there's Corvettes and there's Camaro and Challenger Racing Leagues, too, and there's got to be one for Vipers.
Most of it's Vipers, but there are a couple of Corvettes, a couple of Porsches that play, too.
I still don't think a Porsche would stack up against one of these.
Yeah. Porsches.
Well, depending on what, yeah, for roughly the same money. Porsches are usually more expensive, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. A ZR1's even faster than those.
And the horsepower and everything about them, you can't beat this car for a fast car.
Now, how much was one of these when it first came out?
When it first came out, I don't know.
Well, I mean, when the
Mine
2001.
was $75,000 in 2001.
I figured that they...
You can buy brand new 2010 for about 90 grand, brand new.
You could probably buy a 2010 ZR1 for that. You ever heard of a Falcon Motorsports Mach 1 or Mach 7?
Oh, that's $1.5 million car made in Europe?
Nope, that's a Bugatti. Those are stupid fast. This is the all-American supercar, and it looks like a Corvette, a Viper, and a Shelby all had an illegitimate love child. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep, they're based out of... I know that they're based out of somewhere on the East Coast.
Bugatti, what, 2,000 horsepower or some damn thing?
1,000 horse. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Europeans. Yeah.
You can only use so much of it. So.
Yeah, you have to put in 2 keys to utilize all of it.
Yeah.
They do turn out some good cars, though.
You go see the cars on the other side?
Oh, yeah.
That one with all the flames on it?
Yeah, I saw one of them. I saw I saw somebody, they put like quad exhausts on each side, or they were at least like splitters. Is that car here?
So you got all the flames, somebody's an artist. You gotta be an artist.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. That truck's nice. It's American. Holy crap. So, do you know how many cars, do you have like an idea about how many cars are here?
I don't know, probably 30.
I imagine these go all the way from the original 96. I imagine that one's a 96 or 97. Oh, these are, oh, there's
yeah.
GTR, or GTS.
Oh, but a scoop.
Yeah.
Exhaust. That's an older one there.
Well, I know that,
with the black exhaust and the chrome, but that's probably a 94 or 5 maybe.
yeah, I like it. I liked it when they put the side mount exhaust. It kind of reminded me of the old, when they started producing the 68, the big engine. There was like a 426 or 427 Corvettes. There's one of those in town. The thing is beautiful. Oh, is this the one with the flames?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Imagine how much that cost.
I have no idea.
Oh, this is an ACR. Oh, there's a couple ACRs here.
Yeah.
These are like the especially ridiculous range.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So this year, I said you
Yep, yeah. That's Alex.
Oh, that's a beautiful phone.
Even like see the green on the inside? Josh? Painted the council?
Oh yeah, that is cool. I don't have those either. Yeah, you see it real subtle, even in here.
Yep.
I can take your picture. So what's your
Took out those two pieces and painted the blue man. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I do like the whole like snake eye rip tearing through the door. That is, I like that.
Do you have a wife?
Yeah, if we go up there today, we'll be going right by the exit. She works for you. I'd love to see the
Oh,
one.
would you guys happen to know what time you're going to be leaving?
I have no idea. We're just along for the ride. Well, you want us out of here?
Oh yeah.
You close in 15 minutes.
No, I just want to hear. I want to hear the things run.
Oh, okay.
I've heard one Viper run, and it was from the other lane on the highway going 70 in a Tahoe.
Right.
Yeah. I've heard countless Corvettes and
They're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
what, a ZR1 or one of these?
Well, I mean a Corvette.
Oh.
Yeah, just Corvettes in general.
I mean,
Well, like in Michigan, there's like 3 per 100 people.
yeah.
And
I believe it.
but those are a lot of vintage Corvettes.
Sure.
It was like it was like a 68. It was the big, what was it, a 426 or a 427? Yeah. And it had the quad sides, and the thing was in beautiful shape.
Right.
The guy started it, and there was a guy with a Civic that pulled up next to him and revved it, and I was like, don't even try it.
Right.
It's when people take shitty cars and they make them worse.
Right.
Bet you the muffler is worth more than the car.
Right.
Yeah. You should get a wing like this for yours. Low profile.
I just like the taller ones better, you know? I guess that's all right. Maybe they just look better on convertibles. Or, you know, just body style.
Is it Gen 1? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 96 or a 97 or what? Cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the rubber in it.
It also depends on the color too. Like
Like,
certain cars
also-
just only look good in a certain
In
color.
like Ferrari, every Ferrari looks good in red except for it's like a 355 because theirs is just ugly.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the Californias. I don't know what color.
The older ones are nice, but the new ones are ugly.
Yeah,
the new ones,
are
they
ugly.
ruined it.
Stay off, right? We had a
Yeah,
second
yeah.
one.
Yeah, but
GT California.
that's an older one, so that's
Right.
nice.
They sold the prototype recently.
Is that right?
They
Yeah.
sold the original prototype.
I bet you that much for a mint.
Well, it's just like car companies now they're like destroying prototypes. Bugatti, I think it was like the Grand Vitesse. They're destroying both prototypes.
Oh,
Idiots. That's such an Italian
Bring
thing
it
to
Barrett
do.
Jackson.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's such an Italian thing to do. No, you don't get it. Oh, actually, no, they're French, aren't they?
Maybe.
Bugatti?
Yeah, because they're owned by Volkswagen because it uses two Audi V8s that are
It's a
made.
W16, right?
Yeah.
They're side by side.
I've seen somebody who they've taken the same idea. They made it. I think it was like two Challenger, old '70s Challengers V8s,
Yeah.
one in front of the other, and they made it into like a 12-foot something hot rod.
Nice.
And it was just engine and then a seat. One.
Nice.
Found videos of it on YouTube, and it pulled up next to a Ferrari, and the Ferrari didn't even try it.
Right. Ferrari turned the corner.
Yeah, it was like a 360,
Hitting
and
the
those
wrong
ones are
way
slow
in a way,
anyways. They're slow and ugly.
I'm turning. I don't care who's. They have a fountain there or anything?
Yeah, there's a water fountain right beside the shop door.
Okay.
It'd actually be really nice if GM would work with like the Chrysler and Daimler group, and they'd put the magnetic suspension on there, on the Vipers, and then they'd take the Whipple supercharger that they had engineered for the Shelby, and they put that on the Viper. That'd be so ridiculously amazing.
You like the Bose magnetic suspension? What are you talking about?
The Magneto, the Realogical suspension from GM that they put on the ZR1 and ZL1 and CTSV.
You ever see the one Bose made where it's just 100% electromagnetic? You seen that?
Yeah, well, you kind of there's
It's just huge weight to have that kind of electromagnetic.
yeah, because you have
They have coils that can support the weight of the vehicle. They weigh a lot.
yeah, and you have to have a lot of power, and you have to have a lot of like batteries to power the magnets, because I'm pretty sure that they electrify them
When
first.
we were first meeting up. Just
So do you own one of these?
Just see it coming
Yeah,
up.
mine's
Oh,
the
yeah.
red one, about
Still.
middle way down.
Is that one of the?
98 Gen 2, but it's got the Gen 3 rims on it. So,
Ah,
so it looks like you see the silver one with the Gen 3 rims, see the same rim in the front on the Gen 2. Which this is a Gen 2.
yeah. Can't you? Isn't it the exhaust that's the difference? I'm pretty sure.
You have windows in the doors. You have the exhaust is out the back instead of the side. Motors are different than the Gen 1.
I liked it when the exhausts were out of the side. Aren't they doing that now again?
Well, the only version they didn't do it on is this one. It's the Gen 2.
I guess that kind of makes it
Gen
unique.
1, the Gen 1 had the side pipes like that.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the Gen 3, right here is the Gen 3.
This the black SRT.
Yeah, that has a side pipe again. See?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then the Gen 4 is like.
Is that
now
this
it's
one?
car here. And
Oh yeah, you
it
can
still
tell
has
because
a
of the
side
hood
pipe.
scoops.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
that's
different.
the
They're
difference.
bigger.
The hood is entirely different on the car. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a lot longer than. It looks like it's a lot longer.
I don't think it's any different. The fascia's in the same place, and the fascia's the same. The lights are the same. If you look at where the air intake is on that one, it's shaped differently, and the elevated section of the roof is narrower and comes forward more. This one here is flared out wider and a
Yeah,
little bit softer.
when it comes off the
and then,
scoop.
of course the vents are further back, and there's 5 versus the 3.
On each side, yeah. These are still ridiculously fast cars.
Yeah, they run fine.
I'm sure that you have no problem merging onto the highway.
Now you can do it in pretty much 4th gear.
I've seen
And
cars like
barely
this.
pushing the pedal.
Yeah, I've seen like
and-
cars like this in a ZR1. They can hit like 160 or 170 in 4th gear. In a ZR1 and these, they just pull all the way up until their top speed, which is like 200 some. I know the new ZR1s do like what, 202? No, that was the 2010s.
These Gen 4s right here are faster than ZR1s without any superchargers.
That's true.
These are that orange one and this green one.
Like the ACR, well, and the SRT10, instead of just getting a base model Viper.
These are
How much?
still
How
the
much
same
would a
motor.
how much would a base model cost?
These are
Or one of the brand new ones?
95,000.
You can-
That's the lowest
you can get-
price you can get for a Gen 5 that's coming out.
You can get a loaded out Z06 for that. It's not that bad.
Yeah, the base model Viper is 640 horse and 600 foot-pounds of torque now.
Yeah. I think the base Z06 is like 505. It's the same as the 427 anniversary. I still think they should make cars with carburetors again. They just sound so much better. I think fuel injection is garbage on a lot of cars.
Only because fuel injectors will only last about 10,000 miles,
That's true.
and then they start then they work after that,
Yeah.
but they don't work
As
really
well.
good.
Yeah, we have a
you know.
we have a 53 Chevy at our house, and it's in our outback garage, and it's got an 8-cylinder, and the carburetors, they haven't been replaced. They're the original ones, and all that they've had done to them is they've just been sandblasted and cleaned off of rust, because
Yeah.
it's not completely restored yet. We need to put like sun visors and stuff on it, and that's pretty much it. Wasn't it the ACR that set the lap time, one of the fastest lap times? It was like third or fourth for the Nürburgring.
Yep, it's set of the Gen 4. This is the Gen 4 Gen. Did 7 minutes and 12 seconds.
Shit, that's fast.
It was pretty much the fastest production car in Nürburgring.
Well, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's one of the fastest ones that you can buy from an American company.
No, go to the webpage and check it out.
Well,
the only couple cars that are actually faster in Nürburgring are like
those.
cars.
Well, like no, they're like the Formula style ridiculous like hand-built track day cars.
Right. Yeah.
And there's the air scoop on these. Oh, it is actually functional.
Yeah, that's the intake.
So I like how on the new ZL1, I went into Sullivan Park Hill yesterday, and they sold it a couple weeks ago, and I was going to get a picture of it, because one of my friends, he's obsessed with ZL1s, and he's wanted to see one forever. I've seen 2 or 3 here in town. And they've all been at the original Pancake House. But, yeah. I went in there to take a picture of it, and they sold it. And all they had was a normal SS. And those are still fast cars. Nowhere near as quick as these, though.
Yeah, these are monstrous amount of torque.
I'm sure that you could destroy tires easily than a Mercedes SLS. Those things are not track-grade cars. They're beautiful, but they're not track-grade.
He's got 2 comp coupes that he races, and this is his like pleasure Viper that he takes. He doesn't race this one.
He's like
He's
the
got 2
fastest
race-
grocery getter in the world.
But his times at one of the tracks that I go to are just phenomenal. The guy is really fast.
Have you ever been to like famous tracks like Tabasco or Suzuki Circuit? Or I think it'd be interesting to fly one of these cars overseas.
Might have been to some fairly
I think it'd be
well-known tracks.
awesome to take one of these to like say the Fuji Ring or something, the 90s style before they changed it, but they've kind of completed their work now, so they can't reverse it.
And they
Wayne's car.
sometimes I smell.
Yeah, this is the one with the flames that have been detailed on it.
Yeah, Wayne's wife owned over 30 different Vipers.
My sister said she saw.
Holy crap!
This guy came up from Texas.
Just to show his flames. Yeah. There's John Leto, or I believe his first name is Jimmy John. We found his parking lot, or we found his Bentley Continental and his wife's Audi R8 V10 in the parking lot of St. Matt's once, and we found a little kid kick the Audi. Oh, don't worry, he was like, I think he was in church, but if he was there, she would have been pissed.
This is a 94.
And so this is like the first gen, and you can tell by the wheels, because those
Wheels,
those kind of look like Hot Wheels.
There's no windows in the doors.
There aren't for the convertible.
It's a true roadster. Take the
So it's like one of the old MGs.
Yeah.
That's a gorgeous car. Oh, these ones, they'll still do 180. That was really fast for back then. I still hate how people say Americans can't build cars, because there's a row of evidence that they're false.
Well, I think that the new Viper, the Gen 5 that's coming out right now,
He's going to crush everything.
The CEO of SRT,
Yeah.
and he's bound and determined to put us back on the grid for that. And honestly, if you look at the statistical data, now it may have changed a little bit, but you have the Bugatti Veyron at the top of the food chain as far as horsepower to weight to vehicle weight. So the power to weight ratio, that's number 1. The Ferrari F12 is number 2, and the new Viper is number 3.
For power to weight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 2 cars being over $1 million, and then all of a sudden you got a car that's 100,000.
The F12 Berlinetta is over.
I don't know if that one is, but I know the Bugatti
it's
is.
probably pretty close.
But then I think it might be falling out of place anyhow, because the Koenigsegg came out with a $1.6 million, 1,200 horsepower version of their car.
SSC, they're supposed to come out with like the Tuara or whatever it is. It's supposed to be like a 1,600 horsepower monster. Just imagine how much tires will be for that. If they're like $600 for or however much it is for just a normal tire for Veyron, just imagine how much that'll be.
Well, I know that the tires for any of these cars are about $2,000 to put a set of tires on this, and on the Gen 5, it's gone up to about $3,000 for a set of tires.
Well, I imagine that they put the racing slicks on the new ACRs, like that one. Does that have almost slicks? Are they like?
Yeah, those are going to be the Cup tires. Those are
the Michelin Sport Cups.
But the new,
those are the ones that they.
The new ones are Pirellis.
I think they put Pirellis on ZL1s and they put Sport Cups on ZR1s, but those are optional. Yeah.
You can get a good shot of a zero of a Michelin cup tire right there. Looking at you. That's not a, that's not a cup tire.
So,
That's a cup tire.
yeah, I've seen
See, John,
one of the older
John's
versions.
tires for the day.
I've seen one of the older versions on ZR1s before when they first came out in 2000. What was it, 2009 or
Yeah,
2010?
These are not actually rated for the rain. You can't. You're not supposed to drive those.
Yeah.
These
I've seen
these are good
people.
for the rain.
Because do you watch Top Gear at all?
Mm-hmm.
I hate how Jeremy gave ZR1 a bad review because he drove it in the rain. And it's rear-wheel drive supercars are not meant to be driven in the rain fairly that often.
Well,
Like Alphas or something, a mid-engine.
They've never been very nice to American-made cars, anyhow.
No, I think they hate us because we rose up. We were a bunch of hicks in the wood with homemade whiskey and shotguns.
Well,
and
you
we
can look at it
their
that way,
ass.
or you can look at it the other way. That
We're better.
America, the Industrial Revolution that took off in the United States of America really revolutionized Europe as well as America, and revolutionized the world.
Well,
it really
yeah.
started here.
We kind
and
of.
it wasn't Hicks. It was actually people like Ford and people, and all kinds.
Well,
of
I was talking
people
about
from
like
years ago.
the American Revolution
Yeah.
and independence and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, okay. Yeah, because
Well,
we
to
stood-
them we were
stood-
kind of hillbillies, I guess, because we were sitting in the hills on the
Some
coast.
hillbillies,
Yeah.
huh? Lead the world now, right?
Yeah, well, we did invent something that will change society
How
forever.
many
then-
times they've been to the moon? I want to know.
Oh, 0.
Oh, okay.
How many times have we saved them? Twice.
Okay, how
in the
do
past
their,
100
how do
years?
their aircraft carrier and Truman class submarines look?
Oh, I forgot they have one. Yeah,
Right?
and
It's
they
a little different.
and we and not only that, but we also were the ones that ended World War II. That pretty much saved Britain at least, and we also invented the semiconductor and the integrated microprocessor and the integrated circuit, which is Intel, and it's an American company, which means it's still under an American patent.
America is
We're innovators,
the innovator for a lot of stuff.
and we invented the light bulb, which is pretty much one of the most groundbreaking inventions of all time.
Electricity, Ben Franklin.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome,
His
everybody.
discovery of that.
Yeah. So is
yeah.
this is one of the track grade cars, or
This one does not get tracked. Actually, the gentleman who owns this car put this car together out of several cars.
he pieced
did-
together
yeah,
parts
he-
from
he-
other
he
companies
built-
or
he
other
built
cars?
His own Viper.
So I mean, it's like a normal Viper, like it's a base GTS, and then he added onto it.
I think he picked up
A
front
couple
end of a
parts?
car that had the back end smashed, the back end of a car that had the front end smashed.
That's
and
actually
and actually
probably
put
going to be
together-
a lot cheaper than anything else because, and then you have to pay for repairs, but that's not going to be very nice.
I think this man would make him do all his own work. He built this car. So this is a home built Viper.
And this is a Gen 4? No, this
No,
is a Gen
2.
2. Oh, I couldn't see the
You
front.
can see it's got a little more gaps in the factory gaps and
Yeah.
things
This
like
this kind of reminds me of a Countach.
that. We're getting ready. Okay.